My name is Margaret Reed. I am 61 years old. I live alone in a small, quiet cottage in Dover. The rooms still hold the memories of my husband, who passed away 9 years ago. I have only one daughter, Emily. She moved to Australia many years ago. She has a husband, 2 children, a beautiful house, and a successful career. She is happy there. But I am here, alone. Every morning I wake up before the sun. I prepare breakfast for one. No voice answers mine. Every evening I wait for the phone to ring. Emily rarely calls. Sometimes she sends gifts. Sometimes she says, "Mom, I'll visit soon." But she never comes. Still, I wait. A mother always waits. One afternoon, as I stared at Emily's childhood photos, I heard a knock at the door. My heart raced. I opened it and saw Emily standing there. I froze. I whispered, "Emily, it's really you?" She smiled, calm, too calm. I held her tightly, tears on my face. Inside, we drank tea. I asked about her family. She told me everything was fine. Then I asked why she had come. She said, "Mom, I want to take you to Australia. You shouldn't live alone. Come with me." I paused. This home was my whole life. Emily leaned closer. "Sell the cottage. You don't need it. You'll live with us. You'll be safe. You'll be happy." She smiled softly, but her eyes gave nothing away. I wanted to believe her. I wanted my daughter back. So I agreed. I sold the cottage. Emily took all the money. I packed a single suitcase. We went to the airport together. I was sad to leave everything behind, but happy to not be alone anymore. At the airport, Emily said, "Mom, wait here. I'll get a wheelchair for you. I'll be back in 5 minutes." I watched her walk away. 5 minutes passed, 10, 30. The airport noise faded into nothing inside me. My hands trembled. My breath shortened. Every face I looked at was not hers. After an hour, a security officer approached me. He asked if I was waiting for someone. I showed him Emily's photo and our tickets. He nodded and said he would check. When he returned, his face was heavy. He sat beside me and spoke quietly. "Ma'am, your daughter boarded the flight. She left alone." I whispered, "No, she loves me. She said she would take me." He lowered his eyes. "I'm sorry. I saw her enter the plane alone." I shattered. The officer stayed by my side until I could breathe again. Then he said, "Please come with me. You can't sit here like this. You remind me of my mother. She died 3 years ago." He called his wife, Anna, and asked if I could stay with them. She agreed without hesitation. I spent the night at their home. They treated me like family. Still, I cried. I missed Emily. I missed my life. But strangers offered me kindness I never expected. The next morning, Daniel, the officer, received a phone call. He stepped into another room. His low voice shook. When he returned, I asked him what happened. He smiled gently. and said everything was fine. But his eyes were full of pain. What I didn't know was this: Emily's plane had crashed. No one survived. She was gone. Daniel didn't tell me. He understood that, despite everything, I still loved her. Days passed. Daniel cared for me like a son. Anna treated me like a mother. Their home became mine. Their family became my family. One day, Daniel asked quietly, "Do you ever want to return to your old cottage?" I looked at him and answered, "I lost a house, but I found a home here." Emily was gone, but I found the child I truly deserved.
How would you react if you were in Margaret's situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this story touched you, don't forget to support the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing.